Got a nice little load of scrap here. Look what these raccoons do. Got a little hole under the fence here. I used to park my motorcycle up here, and I'd have a little pile of scrap next to my bike. I'd park right here, and I'd put a little scrap pile here, and then these coons moved in and started piling all this garbage out of the dumpster. It looked like it was my pile of garbage, so it's quite a bit of stuff to take out of there. Anyways, I got a nice bit of brass here. I'm going to run down to the scrap yard. I was going to make a magnet fishing video. There's an old frog pond over here people wanted me to do a long time ago. I was going to do that today. I went to get my magnet, and I can't find my magnet down in my mess and my storage units. So I'm gonna take this pile in and come back and see if I can find it. I'll probably save them. I'll just go ahead and change my plans right now. I'll save the magnet fishing for later video. I'm gonna run down to the scrap yard and then do some dumpster diving, bee bopping on the way home. Got maybe 2.5 hours of light, give or take, and see what I can scavenge up for you for your viewing pleasure. I got about halfway down here and realized that when you use the sun to tell time, it does not account for one of the goofiest things, one of the goofiest ideas we've ever had, which is daylight savings time. It is not 4:18, it is 5:18. So I'm gonna have to find one of my old stash holes, see what I can do. Some of my stash holes do not exist anymore. This one's still here. I'm just gonna throw down my tin and iron and steel. Maybe some aluminum breakage. I had some pretty good stuff with me today too. This is all brass here. A chunk of aluminum, I guess. I had a nice little brass load. Okay. So today I've chosen the Mammoth. I call this place the Mammoth because it's by far the biggest apartment complex I've ever seen. There's a gallon of milk. Anybody wants some trash milk? Whoa, I almost dumped the bike. Who wants garbage milk? Today, hopefully the truck didn't come. This place is basically a small city. It's basically a town on its own right. It's even got a little town square area surrounded by a golf course. Dude's brand new. I'm gonna put that over my garbage disposal at my apartment. For some reason they use the old one. I guess that's the bottom of the sink, huh? They probably didn't want to go all to work. They didn't want to do the extra work, I suppose. They must have just slid the new disposal up in there. Never really paid attention to that before. I wonder if all those are basically new like that. Talk about getting cheap. Look at that plastic, rubber with some kind of synthetic material. Those normally would be brass, copper. What's up, Doc? I guess Bugs Bunny calls the hunter Doc. What's that, Bugs? Cheapy, cheap. Let's shoot. You know what? That's not even. The outside's also plastic. There's no way. Sheesh. I don't even think that's brass. It's hard telling when I'm going blind. I think that's a stainless steel. It's yellow on the outside though. That's probably brass. Let's see. This is probably one you need a grinder for, or a file. Sometimes you gotta go down in there. Shoot. Yeah, I think that's a brass. I'm losing my near vision the other day. The other day I was talking about this new card I got, and I didn't notice. My eyesight's getting so bad I didn't even notice that my card number was there. I was showing it on there. Ah, boy. I'm pretty sure that's a brass. That's heavy. It's like 2 pounds. Whatever it is. Well, the Mammoth didn't produce much. So now I've come across the street to this long road of apartments. Let's see if we can get something out of here. This place is usually good for some scrap metal. Starting down there, there's a dumpster on every side of the street, every apartment complex. So although there's not super valuable things that come out of here, it's always good because you can hit so many dumpsters so fast. Go run this section real time for you. Give you a taste, some reality dumpster diving. Unfortunately, I think the truck came this morning. It's gonna shut me down. Ay, ay, ay. That's no good. Swiffer, wow, look at that, it's totally full. Swiffer action. Huh. Picked up some doorknobs earlier, didn't turn the camera on. I think this is another deal with raccoons, like where I started the video, where I live. Yeah, it is. Oh boy, look at this. It dawned on me. I've made a few videos where I walk down creeks, scavenging and just kind of out creek picking with the dog. And I realized a lot of places, like there's just plastic and stuff just all over the place. When the water comes through, it'll get stuck up in the trees. It dawned on me what's going on at a lot of these places. These coons are dragging this stuff out of the dumpster, coming down here and snacking on it. This isn't actually a creek, but if there were a creek here, the water would come along, and then in times of flood, it gets up in the trees, and it just looks horrendous. It dawned on me where it's all coming from. I wonder how much, you know, they say there's about to be more plastic in the ocean than there are fish. It dawned on me. People complain about stuff going to the landfill. Actually, stuff going into the landfill, it's not a great thing, but it's not a bad thing either. There's worse places it could go than the landfill. And it dawned on me, I wonder how much this is being caused by stuff like this. Because if there was a creek here, every bit of it eventually has a chance to make it to the ocean. Not to mention what it does before that. But a tremendous amount of this could actually be coming out of our trash receptacles, just like this. I mean, that could really add up. It sounds stupid, but that could really add up. You know? So there wasn't a creek immediately behind that dumpster, but there's a creek in the general area. And I mean, just this one little spot, I see a couple plastic bags and some other material in there. And, I mean, if I can make it to the spot where it dawned on me that that's what's going on, or could be going on, or definitely is going on to some extent before the sun goes down, I'll try to get up there and show it to you. There's 2 plastic bags there, styrofoam cup, no, McDonald's paper cup. Paper looks bad, but it's really not that big of a deal. Another plastic bag, another plastic bag, another plastic bag I see down in there. Plastic bag, 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 plastic. I can't even say the word that many times. Enough times, take too long. I look down in there. I don't know if the GoPro can see down in there. But I'm pretty sure a lot of that is coming from raccoons digging it out of the garbage. I mean, not all of it is. Someone probably just came by here and threw their crap out of their car window. But if you can look up in there, just a tremendous amount of plastic bags. They're just strewn all over the place. I'm gonna have to walk up there one day, see what's going on. There's quite a bit of stuff up there. But I'm not so sure that's not almost all coming from raccoons pouring it out of the garbage dumpsters. And this creek goes right through the middle of this big apartment complex. So actually, that creek is right down there. So the thing about raccoons is that they like to be around water, and they usually will eat their food where there's water, where they can clean their hands. Coons are known for eating their food with water. So generally they're going to live where there's a creek, and even if there's not a creek right next to the dumpster, I'm pretty sure that coons will carry their food to a water source, or at least carry it near there. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is I know coons like to eat where there's water, so they're liable to carry a bag all the way down here into the woods. I mean, there's I don't know if the GoPro can pick that up too well, but it kind of looks like the start of the video where I live. Almost looks just like it. So a tremendous amount of that, there's no doubt in my mind now that I actually thought about it, tremendous amount is coming from raccoons taking it out of the garbage, carrying it down to their water source or near the water source, and then of course the wind can help out. High floodwaters can definitely come through here and snatch up the stuff that's not in the creek already. Trying to get across town to show you that raccoon place where I first realized what was going on. Ran out of gas. I carry these fuel bottles. These are wonderful to have around for camping if you're a two-wheel rider. These are awesome. The link for these is down below in the description. Here it is. I made a video with my dog one day going down this creek, starting here. We went up that way a little bit, and then we came back down this way. And down there is a section with trees, heavy brush above the creek. And it's just, it looks like a decorated Christmas tree. There's so many plastic bags stuck up in there. Here's a suitcase I'm gonna check out. I barely got here in time, so with the light I have left, I'm gonna go down here. All this crap down here in this creek, there's no doubt in my mind now, it's being dragged out of this dumpster, and probably the dumpster down that way too. And there's also a dumpster down that way. Probably these 3 dumpsters. No doubt in my mind. Look at this. It's almost exactly the same sort of stuff where I started the video at my apartment. And that creek here. Sometimes the water in this creek will come all the way up here. So that water's liable to come up here and snatch all this stuff out too. That's where I first got the idea, but I didn't really think a whole lot of it until just today. Because the way I started my video, talking about all the critters dragging that stuff out. There's no doubt in my mind that some raccoons doing this. All these styrofoam plates with looks like bits of meat still stuck to them and stuff. So them coons, they like to have water around when they eat. They're known for washing their hands and stuff. And that's a constant water source right there, it looks like. That's probably a natural spring water coming out of that tube there, because it hasn't rained here for a long time. And it's, I don't know if you can hear that or not, but it's flowing right now. So pool of water down there. Good. I wish I had more sunlight. I could go up there and show it to you. It looks like this times 500. No doubt in my mind. It's one of them raccoons. Farkle. Farkle. There's a Farkle. I can see it shining. I don't have my flashlight with me, so this is going to wrap up the video. There's a Farkle. Righty then. On the way over to that spot that I was trying to get to, I barely got there in time to show it on camera, so I didn't have the time to show you. Picked up some nice pieces of steel, some old paint bucket lids or something, and I got some real nice pieces of brass in here, some old plumbing. There's a big industrial dumpster. I might go check back in a couple days. Nice pieces of aluminum and brass, stainless hoses down in there. And I guess that's gonna wrap it up. I sure hope you enjoyed tonight's show, today's show, whatever it is. And as always, thanks for watching.